When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the Wild. Septum Sin versus the Wild. Septum Sin versus the Wild. Septum Sin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what they got. Or at least let you know what's coming up. So why don't we go ahead and roll that footage.
Yeah.
No Gundam again this week.
Get used to disappointment.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. We're getting to a Gundam dry spell here.
I know.
Any case, let's show you what's going to come out in your neck of woods.
No Gundam, but there are some
We had
moderately
a couple.
big names.
Yeah, a couple heavy hitters.
Yeah,
and a few
it's-
not so heavy hitters.
It's kind of a thin week overall, but there is some stuff of interest. There's some stuff of significant interest.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and kick off with something that I have on order, and I'm pretty sure you have on order. And it is pretty awesome, and I am super excited. And I'm talking, of course, about the Shout Factory release of Kyo Annie's A Silent Voice, Koi no Katachi, which I think is actually the shape of voice. And you see both names for the film in print on screen during. It's weird, but excellent film,
Yeah.
truly awesome. And I think I forgot to mention this when I originally talked about it. I actually saw the English dub, and they actually cast a deaf actress to play Shoko, the deaf girl, and I thought that was kind of
cool. Yeah,
that's kind of cool, giving a very unexpected role to someone that's, But it basically, the gist of it, as I've said before, is it's about a little kid who's a brat, who's an absolute holy terror, who gets a new classmate who happens to be deaf. And he decides, well, this is going to amuse me. And he has these two other brat friends who are just as bad as he is. And there's the girl who has a crush on him who's just as rotten as he is. And everyone picks on this poor girl until this one kid has to take the fall for the entire school. Even the teacher was enabling this harassment. But this kid takes the fall. The girl leaves. He spends middle school in hell. And then in high school, he reconnects with the girl, and they become friends. And it's a really nice little movie about second chances and learning to really see people for who they are and all this kind of stuff. and beautifully animated, wonderful music, and it was on our list of anime that need an American release, and it's finally getting one.
It took its sweet time getting a release.
It took its sweet time, indeed. It came out here in 2017, and got an Oscar qualifying run in 2017, and then vanished. And strangely enough, it was on YouTube to stream for free, but no one seemed to want to pick it up. And then finally they got a theatrical release, and then shouts like, "Oh, by the way." So, very cool.
Well, my first one isn't nearly as nice. So, of course, everybody knows the Transformers movies, and they did a spin-off film called Bumblebee. Now,
Bumblebee!
This one is supposedly, I mean, I don't think Michael Bay has more than a production credit in it, does he? So, it's supposedly kind of a love story / road trip story. I saw this, and that's about all I know about it.
Supposedly good.
Supposedly
good. It actually made a lot of year-end best of lists.
Inconceivable!
Which is weird. But it stars Haley Steinfeld, and she's awesome, so that's probably a big part of it.
Maybe.
Yeah. But, and apparently Bumblebee's actually a bug in this one instead of being a Camaro, which, of course, that makes a big difference right there. You know, it was, again, Michael Bay's Transformers basically existed to piss on our childhoods. That's pretty much what it was about. So I'm looking forward to it, but not rushing to see it.
This is one of those times where I'm getting to my dry patch of funds. I had a quick shot in the arm, which I put mostly towards, medical debt and other things of necessary. But a couple of DVD purchases.
Well, shots in the arm will give you some medical debt.
Yeah, they will. It depends on what caliber you use.
True.
All right.
So, I'm going to go ahead and stick with the yellow theme just for a moment. One of the other anime coming out this week, I don't know anything about it, but I've seen the name again and again and again. It's one that's stuck in my brain. So I might as well mention that Season 1 of Golden Kamuy is coming out this week. Like I say, I don't know anything about it, but whatever. It's on my radar. One of these days I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
But if you want to get around to it, here's a chance to just pick it up.
And may God have mercy on your soul.
Well, the one thing that really has my eye, I didn't see it coming until this, which was a documentary on Buster Keaton called The Great Buster.
Yeah.
And Buster Keaton is an American icon, a pioneer of silent film. When you think silent film, most people think Charlie Chaplin. Occasionally, people will think Buster Keaton. And
there's a fair number, but Chaplin's where people
Chaplin's
go
the
first.
one, where everybody goes first.
And then the real movie geeks will think of Harold Lloyd.
See, that's the thing, is that usually it goes from Charlie Chaplin from well-known to Harold Lloyd, and Buster Keaton kind of falls in the middle. And I have at least one Buster Keaton film in my collection. And I think more of his work should be released on Criterion, much like Charlie Chaplin. So I'm curious about this. I do want to watch it, maybe one of these days.
It didn't get the best rating, but it definitely was a good year for biodocs. And I'm curious about it myself. Keaton, I have an unwatched copy of The General in my collection that I've seen the movie, and it's a great fun movie, and I just need to watch my copy. And Sherlock Jr. was a great movie, and Our Hospitality. He's got some good films, so I want to see that. Another one that I have not yet seen, but it did cross my radar when it was released, and I have got a hold on it at the library, and I'm looking forward to it. The new movie directed and starring Clint Eastwood called The Mule, where he plays a older and dirt horticulturist who ends up working as a mule for a drug cartel. And I believe it supposedly is at least somewhat based on real events. Of course, Clint Eastwood is a very solid actor and a phenomenal director. And the basic setup for this sounds pretty interesting. I'm curious to see if it's going to turn out to be a political film or not. But Eastwood is usually pretty good at leaving that on the sidelines and just telling a good film. So I'm curious to see this one, and
There's a part of me that wonders if there's going to be some shot at the need, some like thing saying that we need a border wall or some message like that.
That's what I'm wondering, but hopefully not. But
That makes me a sad panda.
we'll see. If nothing else, I do expect it to be very well made.
Oh yeah. He's known for doing a very good job, which is unlike a lot of ones like that Hillary documentary or some of that. At least this was well put together, I'm sure. I mean, Gran Torino is the last one I remember by Eastwood, and that was really well done.
Well, let's see. American Sniper came out, I think was the follow-up to that.
Yeah, but I haven't seen that one yet.
And what else have I seen recently? I know I've seen a couple others, but...
I've seen a number of his films. It's just,
well, as far as the recent ones,
yeah.
But American Sniper is a good example. I'm not a huge fan of the film, partly because I'm not super into the story, but it's a very well-made film. Bradley Cooper did do a very solid performance, and it's well worth a watch.
You know what I'm reminded of whenever I think of American Sniper?
What's that?
I think of that Nazi propaganda film that they had in what was it? That Quentin Tarantino film, Inglourious Bastards.
The one in the movie within the
the movie within the movie where he's just he's sitting at the tower, he's just constantly picking them off.
Called?
I don't remember what's
Well,
called.
You're talking about the one that Daniel Bruhl's character
because he's just sitting there in the tower, he's just taking out all of them. That's what I keep thinking.
Not quite like that.
No, but
okay.
Any case, of course, one thing that's continuing, and one of the first casualties of my cutting back is Dragon Ball Super Part 7, which is going to be episodes 79 through 91. I can wait on this because I have not started Dragon Ball Super yet.
It's this week's Gundam.
I've actually watched about as much of Dragon Ball Super as you have. I've watched the 2 movies that are covered in it, and that's it.
That's all I've seen.
I hear a lot about it. It is one I want to watch. I just no time. And when I do time, I'm trying to dedicate it to other things, like, well, maybe not so great dedications, but I am doing it.
Something more like a Gretzko?
Yeah, well, I'm watching something right now.
Did you show them your shirt?
Oh, I'll be showing that next video, actually.
Nice.
But there's a show that I'm watching called The Tribe right now. Rebel Gaming Club is getting involved in watching that, and it's this post-apocalyptic... basically, it's Degrassi High meets Mad Max. I think that's the best way of it.
This calls for immediate discussion.
Interesting.
It is interesting. It's got 200 episodes, so I'm probably going to be busy watching that for a long time.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
You'll hear more about this in the upcoming vlogcast week after next.
Right. Speaking of things that are interesting,
That one I do have from pre-order.
A movie that's coming out. What's that?
I do have that one on
You
pre-order.
do have this one on pre-order. I do not, but I have seen it.
What you want, a cookie?
A movie that absolutely makes no pretensions about the political leanings of its director and that does not in any way hold back. In fact, it makes a joke at the very end of the film about its politics, is the film by Adam McKay called Vice. And Vice, of course, was an Oscar winner for Best Makeup.
Yeah.
And it was pretty darn good makeup. It was solid. They did a really good job of casting the teen Dick Cheney and Lynn Cheney with people who looked exactly like Christian Bale and Amy Adams. And they probably used some makeup and digital touch-up to make them look even more like them. But then they picked up at like 20 or so and went kind of to the present day. They aged them that whole way. Maybe with some digital touch-ups. I don't know how much of it was makeup, and but the overall impression is that they did a really good job aging these people, not to mention the lack of hair for Christian Bale and that sort of thing. They did a really good job. The overall film, the acting is very solid. The acting is very, very good in the film, particularly Bale and Adams.
Inspired by Satan himself.
Yes, he took inspiration from the Great Red One.
I choose to believe what I was programmed to believe.
Oh man, I don't know. I shouldn't give Christian Bale props for doing that, but I do. And it is a fun film. It is, and kind of scary, and a little bit of everything. Like if you saw The Big Short, it's more of the same, just with a more pointed political sword, even than The Big Short. So yeah.
Well, another one of my casualties, which I may have actually put on my wish list back in the time when I was had it, but I don't have the original series anymore, and that is Basilisk. There is a sequel series coming out now called Basilisk: The Oula Ninja Scrolls Part 1.
The Oolong Ninja?
Oh, it's O-U-L-A. Oula?
Okay.
So, Basilisk, I have seen the original series it's based off of, is a Romeo and Juliet story with ninjas, and Ninja Scroll is a good way to describe it because that's about how it feels. It's Romeo and Juliet Ninja Scroll style.
Is it closer to Romeo and Juliet or Ninja Scroll in terms of storytelling?
Storytelling closer to Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, good.
Gore level closer to the other.
No, sir, I don't like it.
So, very dark. Kind of depressing. And this one takes place a little bit after that. I probably won't be watching it, and I probably won't be getting it. But for those of you who love those types of things, and I do enjoy Ninja Scroll, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't mind Romeo and Juliet, depending on the version. But this, not so much. So, I guess that's everything this time around. Why don't we, since we're there, we'll throw in a couple of news items. Okay. We've got two exactly, so why don't I'll let you go first with the big one, and I'll go in with the anime one.
Yeah, actually, they're both big ones, but I forgot one of them somehow. But big news, Disney officially completed their deal with Fox. So Fox keeps most of their television holdings. Disney gets most of the movie holdings. That's pretty much how it broke down. So we officially can look forward to Deadpool, the X-Men, Doctor Doom, and some other folks getting the MCU treatment somewhere down the road.
And there's some odd things that have gone on in relation to that. I mean, of course, the negative is the one that we all knew would come, which is massive layoffs.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are out of work because of this, which we knew was going to be. When Disney eventually has all of the media, which is going to be a sad day, by the way. I was not happy about this merger. I am kind of glad to see Marvel properties under one roof, but I am not happy with the mouse holding as much power.
Right.
There was a weird thing because they showed Homer Simpson and Mickey Mouse shaking hands, which is odd because, again, they're TV property, but it makes you wonder. And there's also talks of maybe the Simpsons even changing channels to Disney, which has been on one of Disney's rumor sites, which is weird because you would think that would be a TV holding that Fox would keep under wraps. I think it's one of those. Right now, they say if Fox doesn't renew it for another season, which they're going to renew The Simpsons into infinity. But if they don't renew it,
that's a show that needs to be retired.
The concept is if they do not renew it for a new season, Disney will pick it up. And I really don't think that Disney will give it the adequate treatment. Disney has the capability of it.
The show should be retired before it becomes meh.
Now, the other one that I thought was entertaining was, I don't know if you saw the Deadpool Invades Marvel trailer. Ryan Reynolds put up a whole bunch of weird pictures. First off,
I did not, but I saw the thing where apparently Chris Hemsworth did like Deadpool with the helmet and a tiny hammer, and then Ryan Reynolds came back with what was his clapback for that? It was I can't remember, but yeah.
There is a couple things. Ryan Reynolds immediately tweeted this picture of him riding a school bus, and it says,
"I'm
going to Disney school."
Yes, he's got the Mickey ears.
He also inserted himself into the Infinity War Endgame trailer, which is kind of funny.
No, I did hear about that. I need to see that.
It was kind of funny. I felt like it was forced a little bit, but still. Now, the other big news is finally, after taking a super long break, I might live to see the end of the Ava movie series because they're finally starting production of the 4th film.
Finally.
And that's huge news. Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, I haven't watched a single one of the new films because, to me, I don't want to be sitting there and going, I may never finish this.
Oddly complimentary, Your Highness.
Strangely enough, I have only seen the second one.
Odd.
Well, it was on late one night when I had a chance to watch it. And it's good.
I've heard it's really
good. The second one basically covers the series after Asuka arrives up until a point, and then it goes off. The divergence from the series starts in the second film.
Well, don't let it get you too excited because he's already talking about another one of his Shin something projects.
Yeah.
Which means that he might put this off or stop it in the middle for it. So he stopped it for Shin Godzilla. He may stop it again. Hopefully he will say, you know what, I'll finish this project first. Just finish Ava and get us,
Hideaki Anno needs to maybe practice focus.
Yeah. I mean, I have a perfect clip for this.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
I am enjoying this scene.
Get on with it.
So yes, get on with it.
Get on with it.
And speaking of getting on with it, that's all we have for you this week. What are things that you want to pick up? Let us know in the comments. What are things that excite you coming out? Are the things we missed? Of course, like, subscribe, share. We've been getting members. We've been getting some new subscribers slowly and steadily. Oddly enough, some on the recent horror content, so it's kind of odd. But in any case,
maybe we'll get some on the new content we're trying out this week. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, tune in this week. We're going to review a gaming movie that's a lot of fun.
Yes. So we'll see you on the next one.
Goodbye.